So when I get home from a long day at work laying block or brick in 80 plus degree temperatures, I do what most other masons do. Make pie for my wife and my kids. So without further ado, this is Mr. Dr. Beth Westy's gluten-free, no secret ingredient apple pie. I've had some success with these apple pies. Basically, everybody always thinks you need a secret ingredient to make something gluten-free taste good. Basically, over 13 years of being gluten-free, in a gluten-free family, not gluten-free myself, I have learned that nothing can replace the stickiness of gluten from wheat. Nothing will ever do that. So basically you have to accept the fact that, as Kung Fu Panda would say, there is no secret ingredient. So with that in mind, that's how I make my apple pie crust. There is no secret ingredient. Basically I take the best cookbook ever, Joy of Cooking, and I go to the simple basic pie dough recipe. My mom taught me a long time ago that lard is irreplaceable in pie crust. You want lard, a little bit of butter. I know, lard, right? But it's organic. Can't be bad for you, right? Just like, I don't know, organic Doritos or something. So with the gluten-free flour, obviously that's a big ingredient. That's where we usually run into trouble with keeping things stuck together. I don't think there's one that's necessarily a lot better than the others. It just depends what, I think most gluten-free flours have different flavors. My favorite that I've come to use for like basic cooking is the Namaste Perfect Flour Blend. Just so happens we only have a little bit of that, so I use a little bit of that. My second favorite is this one, which is the best pancakes, but we only had a little bit of that. So my other backup, which is pretty darn good as well, is this one. So what I did is I mixed all three. Since there's no magic ingredient, I figured it didn't matter. So once I mix all that in with my lard and my butter, I guess a pinch of salt if you need to, I don't, and a little bit of water, I ball it up, mix it, try not to overmix, put it in my bowl, let it sit while I make the apples. There's a lot of good pie filling recipes out there. Pick one, you know. What we're really worried about is the gluten-free crust, so I'll show you that once we start putting things together. So when I make my filling, I basically just cut up a bunch of apples, whatever we got around. Looks like about enough for a pie. That's what I do. Then I take a bunch of sugar, probably, like I think it calls for 3/4 of a cup. I like to add some brown sugar. Something some people might not do. I don't know. I love brown sugar, so I can't just use white. Anyway, in goes that. Take some lemon juice, a couple squirts. Take some cinnamon. Oh, got to be open cinnamon. Probably 2 little shakes. And what else we got kicking around? Nutmeg. I don't think I have nutmeg, but I got some pumpkin pie spice. Why not? A little bit of that. And I got an egg. Throw an egg in there. And 4 tablespoons of butter. Stir it all up, and then you got your pie filling. Next, we gotta check our dough situation, and we got a clear spot for that. So, okay. So, I have my helper Zara with me. Say hi, Zara.
Hey!
The next process was, so I was always sick of rolling out dough. I used to, with gluten dough, be able to just stretch it, pull it, mold it, put it in places. Well, the gluten-free dough, I couldn't do that, and it stuck to everything. It sucked. Or it crumbled apart in a million pieces. And I thought there was a magic ingredient. I tried xanthan gum, I tried all sorts of weird stuff, never worked. I'm kind of glad they came out with all the blended flours, like I showed you earlier. They're great, which should have some of that xanthan gum stuff in there, but like I said, nothing replaces gluten. So my technique is I put some saran wrap down. I take my dough from earlier that somebody put a smiley face in.
I wonder who.
Thank you. I'll take half that. I'll use half for the bottom crust and the other half later for the top. So basically, all I do is...
I think you just killed Bill.
Put it there.
Bill.
I'll grab another sheet.
Oh.
This is kind of crappy saran wrap. It's all we had. Like I said, I'm really in with what we got lying around. This was kind of a last minute deal. Oh, those are good stuff. No, we just simply roll it out like your normal pie crust. And it should. It's a little tricky to get it in the pan, but once it's out there, down in there, it gets nice and flat. I grab our pie pan. You can see Beth's been gone doing stuff. I've been gone doing stuff. We need to clean. So, see how nicely that peeled off? See? See how nice that is? Pretty good, huh, Sarah? Now, this is the tricky part. We'll see if I don't mess it up. I hope I don't mess it up. Oh, man.
Flip it like a pancake. Oh my gosh, I think something got in the...
Yeah, see, some of it chunked off. That's the trickiest part. But I leave the saran wrap on. I can sort of get it in there in a nice even layer.
Pie.
Boom. See, that looks pretty good. It's all molded in there nicely. Then I peel that off.
Ooh, it's nice and smooth. I like that.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, the inside pie.
Spot will take care of whatever we dropped on the floor.
Where is he? Where's Spotter Boy?
Probably
Outside.
rolling in something.
Outside. Yeah, dogs.
So, here's our mixture from earlier.
Oh, everything melted to the bottom, so I gotta mix it
There's
up
all
again.
sorts of good stuff in there. Oh man, this is a big pie. There we go.
So, are we gonna use the other half for the top?
You betcha, girl. Got some residuals. I should be able to save this piece.
I got real some of it right.
Sometimes you can save the leftovers.
You cleaned the counter, right? Because you just put a bunch of crumbs
Yes,
in the bowl.
it's about the only thing I cleaned when I got home.
That kind of worries
Okay, so now
me. I don't know why.
the top part, you just repeat the other process. And it's kind of great because I can't believe that stayed together when the pressure was on. But here we go. Here's one more. We'll get all this crap out of here. Time for one more. Bing, bing. Beautiful. Get it nice and close because I'm bound to screw it up.
Put most of your hands
Ready?
like under it so it doesn't like flip that much. So it
Ready?
doesn't break apart when it flips. Yeah, or just do that.
Or
Alright.
just do that and
More is falling on the floor.
take that up. That's why we got Spot. He's a champ. He's
Do you
one of
think
the
this
best
will make him
helpers.
sick though?
So I think if we use a little water in our fingers, we can pinch together. I used to have to cut the edges
Ugh.
with gluten crust, but this, as crumbly as it is, it just falls right off.
Delicious.
Yep. And once it bakes, for some reason, it's not quite as crumbly, but we'll see. We'll see if we can successfully get a piece out tonight after it cools. It's a big fat pie. What do you think, Sarah?
Pretty good.
It's looking decent. Okay. Oh, you know what we didn't do is preheat the oven.
I think
Pretty sure
that
it's 350.
you used pancake mix. Wait, did you use pancake mix to make this?
I used a little of everything. I used what I had.
Yeah,
Anyway,
maybe it's
So
more
next-
delicious that way.
next, I saved a little leftover butter.
Did you tell the people where you bought your gluten-free flour?
No.
You can buy it at like Cub Foods
I
or
don't
Fresh
know.
Time.
Yeah, we go all sorts of places. So, I had a little bit of butter left over.
Ooh,
What I
that
do
smells so good.
is brush that over the top.
I think Zen and Zill are watching cartoons downstairs. Probably came from my collection.
Then, this is our brown sugar. Put a little bit of brown sugar. Well, maybe
So does
maybe that's a lot of it. But
Don't
we
worry.
don't really care.
Zill
More
likes
brown
it.
sugar is good. It'll come out just
Will that
great.
make it nice and crispy at the top and like this nice coating?
We can put a little vent holes in it. I'm no artist,
Yeah, you are.
but it's about what it'll look like as it goes in the oven. And we'll see you in, I'm not sure how long.
It's gone. I can't film it anymore.
Okay, so it's been about 50 minutes at 375. We'll see. I somehow managed to put dinner on the table in that time too. So I was a little distracted. This looks like it might be a touch more brown than I like it. But there it is. Still bubbling. Whoa, I better put it down because it is warm. That's a warm. A little crispier than I like. But
But it's nice and crispy,
that's how it
right?
is. Every time I do this, I learn something. Yeah, it's gonna be pretty awesome. The key here is though to really thoroughly let it cool. Might be another hour or so. Maybe I can put it outside without somebody stealing it.
Like Tom does in Tom and Jerry.
Okay. The pie has now been cooling for maybe an hour and a half. It's still hot. My best customers cannot wait any longer, so we're gonna have to give it a go. Here we go. I'm not sure if it'll come out in one piece. It is crumbly. There's gonna be crumbs. If I had to do one thing different, it would be maybe cook it at 350 instead of 375. Got a little brown for my liking, but
Bye bye bye.
it's about as good as I got at the moment. Yeah. So it's delicious pie. Let's see how you like it, Zale. It's verdict. Yummy, yummy. All right, success. It's the truth. The truth. Out.